Hello guys, we are embarking on a journey today, and that is a 24-hour reading challenge. And I'm not doing 12 hours in 12 hours. I'm not doing stop the timer and however many days it takes me to read for 24 hours. No, we are reading for 24 hours straight. And technically we're doing it tomorrow because I'm filming this the day before because my husband and I went on a breakfast date and I got ready, so I figured I would start this video now so that tomorrow I can just get into reading and I don't have to like carve out time beforehand to start this video. But basically, I have had this video in the plans for a while, and this just worked out almost perfectly for me. We're starting this 24-hour reading challenge. Is going to be at 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. The reason we're doing it this way, I'm starting this tomorrow at 9 a.m. and then like 36 hours later, I will be hopping on a flight for Disney World. So my thought process is like I have an overnight red-eye flight from like 8:30 p.m. until like 7 a.m. And then I'm planning on just staying awake for that whole day to have a wonderful time with my favorite mouse. So I want to be able to sleep until it's time for me to get up for my flight. So I was like, what better way to make sure I'm nice and tired that I can sleep through the whole day than do a 24-hour reading challenge the day before. So we're going to go from 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. Then I am going to sleep until about 4 p.m. and then get up and leave to go see that mouse. What are we going to be reading? So the first book I'm going to be reading probably for this challenge, we will see, is actually a book I'm reading for a different vlog, so I probably won't discuss it too much in here. I'll tell you like what I rated it, but we won't go into like my super thoughts and feelings, and that is Hunted by Darcy Coates. This book's kind of long, I will be honest, but the text and the spacing is quite honestly huge, if I'm being honest. Like the spacing is huge. But this has been on my TBR, and my friend Christy is actually gonna attempt this challenge with me. I don't know if she'll stay up for the full 24, but we've been wanting to buddy read this because I got it for her birthday. So this will be the first book that we read for sure, and then everything else is kind of up in the air. Some things that I don't have physically but I do have on my Kindle that are a possibility are Dear Hannah. We'll pop that up here. It's the second book in the Baby Teeth duology, I guess, and I would like to read that while Baby Teeth is still fresh in my mind. I think that's the only one that's on my Kindle and I don't have physically. But this, possibly Dear Hannah. I do think I will definitely get to All In by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the third book in the Natural series, and I feel like a broken record at this point. The series is amazing. It is basically Criminal Minds but make teenagers. Like there's a quote from Ellie Carter, and it says The Naturals is Criminal Minds but for the YA world, and I loved every page. So there's that. If we look any different, it's because the battery died. So we are going for the theme of this. My TBR here is easy breezy beautiful cover girl. Okay, books that are going to be easy to read. So we have this, that's YA. We have the third book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, which is this one, Good as Dead. I'm not like overly excited to read this one, if I'm being honest with you. I think this is a very mid series, but I've read the other two and I would love to just finish it, and because it's YA it shouldn't be too difficult, but this one's like low priority. We've got The X by Frida McFadden. This is, I just pulled a new TBR and I usually have a Frida book on like every TBR basically that I have, because her books are just so easy to read, fly through. It only takes a couple of hours. So we have that. We have got a manga volume. We have volume 1 of Hunter x Hunter. This is also on my current TBR. I pulled the prompt of a manga or an graphic novel. So I pulled this out. This will be like 30 minutes of reading and we can add a book to it. And this one's kind of like a last minute addition because I saw some girl's video of her reading this series for the first time and it just really made me want to. And it's also on KU. It's a possibility we start a Harry Potter reread. That's very up in the air, and I do have other books on my TBR that I could possibly pull from, because as I look at this, it's pretty much all thrillers or horror. So I don't know that this was like the most stellar choice, because my other option is Dear Hannah, or maybe just like continuing on with The Naturals. However, I don't want it to be over. That's my thoughts and feelings for this video. let's go. 24-hour reading challenge. Okay guys, we're starting in the vlog in a weird place for my husband's office. That's his bookshelf. We are going to be starting, it is 8:56. We are going to be starting with Hunter x Hunter. This might be a bad idea to start with the manga. It might be a good idea. I haven't decided yet, but I woke up with one of those I didn't get enough sleep. I feel nauseous tummy aches. I love. So I don't feel stellar right now. I do have a stomach ache. So I think I'm going to read this to get into like the groove of reading, and plus I'm buddy reading Hunted with one of my friends, and I don't think she's like really ready to get started yet. It's quite cold here in Texas right now. It's like in the 20s. So I was planning on doing like some reading and vlogging in the living room. We have to have all of the faucets running right now, so I don't know about that, you know, like the faucets are running, so it's really annoying sounding out there. But I also looked up a like diagram on, I forget like how to, the order in which to read the boxes in manga. So if you are curious, here it is. Very confusing, but should be good. Whenever Christopher gets up, I made him take the trash out because I forgot that he cooked and it kind of smells bad. It's making me gag. But it's almost 9, so it's almost time to get going. Set timer for 24 hours.
Timers can't be set for 24 hours or longer.
Set timer for 23 hours and 59 minutes. One book down. I have one audiobook that I'm listening to, and that's Game of Thrones. So we listened to that. We drove to get ourselves a little Mickey D's. We're in my work office right now because my husband is sleeping and he is a snorer, and I need it silent while I read type of gal. We're in here and we do have Hunted the book. This book's quite long. It's a 400-page book, which is kind of wild for a 24-hour reading challenge. However, I did also get it on Kindle because that's just how I operate in life, and I can just tell I don't want to hold a book. A book that's over 400, no. It's not being held by me. That's just how it's gonna be. It says it typically takes people about almost 6 hours to read this. I don't think it will take me that long, honestly. But look at the text in this. This looks like YA. The spacing is crazy, and the size of the text is also crazy. But I am going to eat my breakfast. That first sip of crispy McDonald's Diet Coke, and I'm gonna get started with Hunted. Update for 24-hour reading vlog. Okay guys, about 22% into Hunted, and I'm thinking about DNFing it. I'm waiting for my friend to like tell me what she's thinking of it, because I bought her a copy of it. We both have a copy of it, all at the hands of me, and I don't like it. Mild spoiler maybe. I don't know this for sure. I think this is like a monster story, and I just don't with monster stories. I just find it cringy. So I'm like 100 pages in. Let's see in the physical book where I'm at. I'm here, chapter 17. I feel like I've not read all that much of it, but I am just so beyond uninterested. Guys, I'm DNFing this. I'm just simply DNFing it. I got to like 40%. That's almost 200 pages, because this is like a 450 page book. What's 40%? What's 40% of 450?
40.
Yeah, it's 180 pages. I've read almost 200 pages of this book, and it's a 1 star so far. So I just feel like there's no point in me continuing because it's making me want to die. So we've already decided. My friend who I was reading this with, she's only 10% in, and she called me and she's like, are you still bored? Because we can just stop reading this. She's like, I'm not particularly interested. And I was like, this is like maybe like a 3% spoiler, so skip forward if you don't want to hear it. But it's literally just the information on the back of the book. I'm like, I'm 40% into this book, and all that's happened is Eileen has gone missing and her friends and brother are looking for her. And that's what the back of the book says that the book is about. And at 40%, nothing else has happened. And I just can't keep going. So you know what we're gonna do from here? And I'm rating that shit on Goodreads a 1 star because I think I read enough pages of it to decide I hate it. We're moving into All In because this has a really good rating on Goodreads. Unfortunately, Hunted does too, but I hated it. This has like a 4.3 or something, and I've loved this series so far. So we're jumping into All In, cute, fun little YA thriller. Here's the hoping, baby. If you don't know what The Naturals is about, this is book 3 in a series, so I can't like say a whole ton without giving stuff away. But this book is about a set of children, not children, teenagers, and they were selected to be a part of the FBI's The Naturals program. The first book in the series is called The Naturals, and they all have a different type of skill. We have a couple of profilers. We have somebody who can detect when anybody is lying. We have somebody who can read emotions. Different characters, different things about them that they can do that help the FBI solve cold cases. That's their whole point, is that they're supposed to be helping with cold cases and not work on like active cases, but in each book they end up having to participate in some active case and get themselves into some danger. This one is about brutal killings in Vegas, and the Naturals are called to investigate. And I'm really excited because this sounds really good, unlike everything else. Not everything. Hunter was fine, but Hunted, bad. Bad, bad, bad. Okay guys, we're about 1/4 of the way through All In, and it is just so exponentially better than Hunted, and I'm just having a much better reading experience. In this, they are in Vegas, which is pretty fun, and I'm just live, laugh, loving it. We're getting more of a backstory on a character we haven't gotten to learn a ton about yet, and I'm just loving it. I am just loving it. Every few chapters at the end of it, there's a little chapter that's titled You, and it's like from the point of view of the bad guy, and ugh, it just adds so much. It's just so good. So good. Let's keep going. Chapter 16, spoilers. I'm 25%, so literally almost already caught up to where I was in Hunted, and we have 3.5 hours left in the book. I'm live, laugh, loving this. It's so good. But I have a theory. Do I just, for some reason, with like how much care was taken of Cassie's mom's body, like burying her and like the remorse and stuff, why do I feel like it was her dad who killed her? I don't know why. I think it's Cassie's dad, and then the cross, and like they're Italian, and Italians are known for being really religious and really Catholic. So I'm sus of her dad. We have got 2 highlights from chapter 19, and I just love Leah. She's so funny. She's so funny. So when she says, the point is that I don't hate you, she continued. So when I say that you need to put on your big girl panties and woman up, I mean that in the nicest way possible. Iconic. And then when she says, so sorry, but you don't get to be effed up right now, it's not your turn. So good. Okay guys, we have about 17 hours left. We're killing it. So I think I'm gonna be finishing The Naturals in about 2 hours. So we're making pretty good time. Now we still have 14 hours left, and then I think after this I'm gonna start either The X by Frida McFadden or As Good as Dead by Hallie Jackson. I don't really want to read As Good as Dead because I don't think it's gonna be very good, because I don't really like this series, but I would like for it to be done. But I'm starving to death, so I'm going to go get a snack and then continue on. Probably gonna get some potato chips. Sounds delish. But I like can't concentrate because my tummy is rumbling. Book 2.5 done. I don't know what I'm rating this yet. Before I get started on the next book, I need to like take a breather because I was laying down and now I'm sitting up like this. Due to this book, I'm sweating, I'm hot, I was cold, but now I don't know if you can tell, my cheeks are literally rosy. I'm stressed. I finished this and I'm stressed. What the hell? What? We are going strong, baby. We have started The X. We're actually deep in. We're at 41%. It's honestly quite repetitive. I just checked into my flight for tomorrow, so I have to take a little breaky poo for that. But we are at 12.5 hours left, and we only have about 2.5 hours left in this. We're gonna have about 10 hours left when I finish this. So we'll be able to read 1 or 2 more books. How many more books do you think I'll read after this? So how many
have you read already? Like 2.5?
I've read the manga. Within 12 hours, I'll have read the manga and 2 other books. And I read 40% of Hunted, so like 200 pages of that
I think
book.
2 more after this.
2 more after?
Yeah.
Dang. My goal was 3, and that would definitely be more than 3. It'd be like 5.
Mm-hmm.
We're killing it, baby. But so far, this is very repetitive, and it's kind of boring me, and I'm getting, like, bored. Obviously. But I'm also getting a little delirious, and we don't have any caffeine in this house. You finished this book. So if I didn't say what this is about, it's about our main gal, Cassie, and she starts dating this guy, Joel, and she thinks that his ex-girlfriend, Francesca, is out of the picture, but is she? Dun, dun, dun. And this book was 4 stars until the 23-minute epilogue that brought it down to a 3 because the epilogue was so fucking stupid. Oh my god. There were some crazy twists, but then the epilogue, like, made the twists, like, less impactful. And that's all I'm gonna say about that, but I'm kind of pissed. I'm kind of pissed, if I'm being honest with you, because, like, it was pretty good until then. But now I'm annoyed. Okay, we're gonna drop her off on the done pile. And this is the last book on my, like, pre-picked out to read. These are the rest of the books on my current TBR besides Zodiac Academy, but I want to read this on my flight because I think I'm gonna not really like it and not focus. And so I do think after I finish this, I might pick up You've Reached Sam, because first off, I don't know if you can tell, it's pink sprayed edges, and that's YA. And YA seems to be the vibes we're going for today. We're reading a lot of YA. So, we're gonna start this. I'm not, like, really all that jazzed about it. I've talked about this a lot of times on my channel. I think that this series is, like, criminally overhyped. I did rate the first book 4 stars and the second book 3 stars, but I think, like, I was being generous. And those aren't even, like, good ratings to be like I was being a nice girl. But I think realistically, the first one's probably 3 stars and the second one's 2 stars. And then there's this book here that's criminally underrated. The one that got away with murder by Trish Lundy. And it is, like, an exceptionally better book that gives me, like, the same kind of energy. So I don't see this being anything higher than a 3. Let's see what it's about. Pip is still haunted by the whoa, I think my eyes are broken. Pip is still haunted by the way her last investigation ended. She's used to online death threats in the wake of her viral true crime podcast, but soon the threats escalate and Pip realizes that someone is following her in real life. When Pip discovers a connection between her new stalker and the local serial killer, she finds herself in the center of another case. Will her good girl way die with her? Or, as the deadly games play out, will Pip risk losing everything she loves, including herself? This feels kind of long for what it is, which is really disheartening if I'm being honest. Yeah, it's 450 pages, so that's gross. But hey, we're gonna give it a go, and if I DNF it, then it's still getting to, like, it'll still be a book off my TBR, you know? But if I DNF it, then I have to decide to either get rid of the whole series or keep it, even though it's a DNF. Because I don't just get rid of a book in the middle of the series, that's weird. But here we go, book number, you guys are gonna die, 5, book 5. I will admit, sorry about the sink stripping, we understand that's just what we have to do. I am going to, before I start that book, do my hair. Basically, whenever I travel, I like to do my hair the day before because it stays perfectly fine while I'm sleeping, especially if I'm not going straight to sleep, which I still have 10 hours to just have my hair done for. So I'm gonna do it now so that tomorrow, because, like, I'm gonna go to bed at 9, it'll take me time to fall asleep, and I have to get up at, like, 4 to leave. So me and my hubba bubba can go get dinner because I have to be at the airport for 6:30. So by the time I get up and get ready, I'll have like 2 hours to get to the airport, so I'll have time to do dinner and stuff. So I don't want to have to get up extra early to do my hair. It only takes me, I'm not exaggerating when I say, less than 10 minutes to do. But for the sake of the challenge, for the sake of you guys, I will listen to my audiobook while I do my hair. Also, Game of Thrones spoiler, if you're unaware of Game of Thrones, I just told my husband that I got to the part where Bran gets pushed out the window, and he goes, isn't that like the beginning? And I'm like, I'm 3 hours into this audiobook, but yes, unfortunately it's still the beginning, because I've only really listened to it for like one day. But I decided against As Good as Dead because I didn't have it on my Kindle, and I don't have it in me to read a 500-page book right now, or be with my eyeballs like holding.
How sleepy are you?
I'm going downtown, sugar, we're going down.
Oh shit.
I'm not doing 12 hours and 12 hours. I'm not doing stop the timer, and we are reading for 24 hours straight. You guys remember when I said I'm not gonna be a bitch and I'm gonna do this, and I'm not doing the whole, oh, we sleep for a little bit and then we finish it? I may be a giver-upper.
No, not the giver-upper.
I'm
No.
fading.
We ain't no bitches. No.
I'm not giving up yet. I am 18% into this book, but there's 3 hours left, and I will admit that there's still 8.5 hours in this. I don't think I set myself up for success. I don't know if I told you this.
What?
But I only got like 5 hours of sleep last night, really. 5 to 6.
Oh, what a great time to not get sleep. Who needs
Yeah,
sleep
and I
on a
didn't
24-hour reading challenge? Not
sleep.
you.
Wow, and I'm getting a headache. So it's just like not that the book's not good. I'm liking it so far. But I feel like I'm not giving it a fair chance because I like this. If it's a jump scare to morning, it is what it is. Well, here we are, guys. I obviously failed. I'm a failure. It's fine. I do want to try this again in the future, probably soon, in the next month or so, but like be better prepared. And I think one thing that really did me in was my first, like after the manga, the first book being in DNF, I feel like sent me in a downward trajectory. But next time I want to make sure, I want to do it when we're not in an extreme cold situation, so I can maybe like read outside, change up my location, maybe not do it on a weekend because I don't like going anywhere on the weekend. So have caffeine in the house because that was stupid on my part. And yeah, but we'll go over everything we were able to read in this video. So the first thing we read was the volume 1 of Hunter x Hunter. It's upside down, and I did give this 5 stars. I'm gonna continue the series, of course. It's really, really good. This series is about our main character Gon, and he is, I think, 12, and he's been living with his aunt for his whole life, but he found out through a man named Kite who saved him from like a bear that his dad is a hunter, and hunters are this elite group of people who have a license to hunt creatures, protect people, yada yada. And he is finally old enough to enter the test, so he is going to be entering the hunter exam, and it's about like the first phase of the hunter exam. We meet pretty much all of our like leading characters. Besides one of my favorites is not in this, but we meet Gon, we meet Kurapika, we might meet Leorio, we meet Killua, which is my favorite character, and we meet Hisoka. So we meet lots of great characters in this. Love. Then we did DNF Hunted. This book is so long for what it is. It's over 450 pages, and like I said, I read almost 200 pages of this book, got to 40%. Hunted is about our main character Eileen, and she goes missing in this fictional forest in Australia, and they can't find her, and then her brother is still alive, and her brother thinks she might still be alive, and he and their group of friends goes to look for her. That's what the back says, and that is all that happened within 200 pages of this book. So sadly I had to DNF it. So in 2024, in the beginning of the year, I was really good about DNFing books, and then I got really bad at it again towards the end of the year, and I think I'm gonna try to be better about it because I have over 100 books on my physical TBR, even more on my Kindle, and I just need to start letting go of books that aren't working for me. And Hunted by Darcy Coates did not work for me. The other book I read by Darcy Coates did not work for me, so maybe Darcy Coates is not for me. So we DNF'd her. We followed that up by something I knew was going to be a banger, which is All In by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. In this, we're following our group of the naturals. We have Cassie and Dean, who are both profilers. We have Michael, who can read emotions. Leah, who can tell a lot, like detect, she's a human lie detector. And Sloane, who is like our Spencer Reed eidetic memory genius. And they are solving some case of some murders in Las Vegas. It was very, very good. There were some crazy twists and turns in this. Best one yet, and I gave it 4 stars because I did think that probably like 20%, I think 50 pages of this book could have been removed. Then we read The X by Frida McFadden. This is about, it's so funny because the main character in this is Cassie and then the main character in this is Cassie. So in this, we're reading from the current girl, new girlfriend, the new girl, and the ex. This is about the new girl, Cassie, and she starts dating this guy, Joel, and he is a doctor, and she thinks he's the one, blah, 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 and that his perfect ex-girlfriend, Francesca, is out of the picture. But is she? And this book was a 4 up until the really long epilogue. The epilogue is over 10 pages, which is just dramatic if you ask me. And it was so stupid, and I feel like it undid a ton of stuff from the like original plot of the story. The original ending, the epilogue kind of like muddied it. It was really dumb, so I gave that 3 stars. And then I did make it about 25% of the way through You've Reached Sam. So I'm sorry to leave you guys on a cliffhanger, but you'll be able to see this at my January wrap up. But I'm probably gonna finish this today. I was reading it, I think I'm on chapter 4, so I'm about like here, last night, and I feel like this book is going to be like a heavy hitting book, but I just couldn't keep my eye focused. And so this is about our main character, Julie, and Julie and Sam were like boyfriend girlfriend for the past 3 years in high school, and they had plans to like go to college together, go on a trip to Japan. They had all these plans, and then Sam dies, and Julie doesn't really know how to handle it. She skips his funeral, throws away his belongings, and then he leaves behind a memory or message in her yearbook that persuades her to call his phone, and the number one thing she doesn't expect happens, and that is he picks up. So he answers the phone, and she's talking to him, and the connection is temporary, but hearing Sam's voice makes Julie fall for him all over again. With each call, it becomes harder to let go. And I'm not very far into it, so I don't think anything I say is really a spoiler, but he says to her, like, I picked up so that we could say goodbye even though we don't want to, and it already makes me want to cry. But we're going to continue on this. This is a magical realism book, and it doesn't have stellar reviews. It has like a 3.6 on Goodreads, but I feel like my girl Rebecca Searle, her books tend to have around that as like a rating 2, and I'm pretty sure One Italian Summer has like a 3.6, and I gave it 5 stars, and it was one of my top 10 favorite books of last year. I think people just don't get magical realism, and then they want it to be either magical or realistic, but I like the blend since I'm not a fantasy reader. So I may finish this before I leave for my trip today. We will see. But that is going to be all. We did get through, because I'm counting Hunted as we got through it because it's coming off the shelf. So, well, it's going to wait till my wrap up and then it's going bye-bye. But we got through these bad boys. We did it. Plus, we read part of this. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you think I should try it again, let me know. I mean, I'm going to do it either way, but let me know. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.